In the arts and cultural sector, when we think of audiences, we've been told over the years that audiences are like fruit on a tree. And what's the number one thing, you marketing people, what's the number one thing when you write a marketing plan that you know someone on your marketing committee is going to tell you, or your executive director is going to tell you about where you should be spending your time and your money? What should you be doing with it? Pick the low-hanging fruit. This conventional wisdom that we pick the low-hanging fruit and that we spend our money in the middle of the tree deserves to be reconsidered. And today I'm going to ask you to take a little trip with me. I'm going to ask you to engage in the painful job of thinking. And we are going to start by literally chopping down this tree. We're going to chop down this paradigm and see if there's a different way for us to think about audiences. Are you with me? Are you ready? This is the audience participation part. So a nice cheer or a yes or something would go over really well right about now. It calms my nerves. It makes me know that you're still with me. So are you ready? Yeah. Are you with me? Yeah. Are we going to chop down this tree? Yeah. Let's chop down the tree. We think about capacity as if it was a lake filled with water. You can imagine that me living in the desert, I think about these kinds of things a lot. What is capacity when we're talking about an audience's participation? What might influence its capacity to attend? Someone? This is more audience participation? Time. Do they have the time to come? What else? Money. Do they have the money? What else? Interest. Not interest. That's not a function of capacity. We'll talk about interest in a second. What else? All right, let's see. We talked about time. We talk about money. Those always come up first. We talk about the opportunity. What's the demonstration of an interested audience member?
They buy a ticket.
They buy a ticket. Now show me what a committed audience member would do. This is the most important thing. You intersect capacity and interest, and what you're going to get are 4 quadrants. Those audiences that have high interest and high capacity, we're going to call them devoted. They have their own momentum. They come because they deeply have passion. They know what they're looking for. They're there before you even write your season brochure. If you have high interest but low capacity, I'm going to call you oriented. Literally, I think the oriented audience wakes up in the morning, thinks, gee, I wonder what's going on in the arts and cultural sector. I'm curious, I'm interested. But then they have to make decisions because they can't go to everything. But then you've got folks who are low interest and low capacity. And I'm going to call these folks asleep. I'm going to suggest to you today that we can't afford to write anyone off right now, and we need to deal with a strategy for dealing with those audiences that are asleep. We need to wake them up. And then finally, the quadrant that I think is absolutely the most interest, people of high capacity with relatively low interest. You know these folks, don't you? I call these people uninspired. It's our job to inspire them.